Welcome to PointBlank. Today we are going to talk about how the economic crisis has affected charities in Singapore. And I'm Shi Ting.
I'm Elsie. And today we have our three guests today here. And we have Winnie. Miss Winnie Chia. She's from Halogen Foundation, the not-for-profit social enterprise. And we have Mr. Gregory Lee. Yes, from Salvation Army.
As you can tell from the uniform.
Yes.
And of course we have Patricia from Red Cross. And
Welcome.
Before we move on, let's look at this video.
As the Chinese New Year draws near, we look forward to celebrating with good food. But for the lower income families, this festive season is shrouded with the gloom of the current economic crisis. It doesn't help that during these bad times, people are cutting back on secondary expenses such as donations. And this has affected initiatives such as the Straits Times School Pocket Money Fund that receives donation from the public.
We've been hit with a double whammy with this economic downturn. Charities like us find that there are more children in need of help because there are more retrenchments and job losses, and so we need more funds. But as a result of the worsening economy, people are donating less. So we have less money coming in, yet we need more money because there are more children who need help.
So far, the fund has fallen short of the target by $500,000. To help needy families tie through the Chinese New Year, CDAC conducted a rice cum hamper distribution after raising 12,000 kilograms of rice.
Well, so far we haven't been very badly affected yet. But going forward, we are monitoring very closely the collections that we receive from the CPF checkout schemes. So in the next couple of months, I think situation will be clearer.
Needy people are not the only ones who are affected during this economic downturn. SPCA has also faced difficulties during the past few months.
In November, actually, there was a sharp decline compared to last year. We actually only had half the income that we received in November the year before. We had our Christmas wish list, which comes out every Christmas, and people can sponsor specific items. And this one had a very poor response. We've actually got $13,000 left to fulfill on this one, so we've turned it into a Lunar New Year wish list now.
Many are not optimistic about how the year will roll out.
It's a bit of nobody committing to you, whereas in previous years people would say, yes, this amount that we can commit. We realize that the markets are pretty bad. They don't have their budgets confirmed yet, so people don't know how much they can give. And the financial institutions who've been the bastion of giving for a long, long time are obviously the ones who are very heavily hit this time around. And when they are hit, well, we are hit too.
Do you think this distribution is even more pertinent now since it's in the economic crisis?
Yes, I think indeed it is more pertinent and more meaningful because all of us know 2009 is going to be a very challenging year, and it will be a big challenge for many Singaporean families, especially the low-income families.
This year, I think the worst is yet to come, and it could translate into a severe drop. You know, we have to be very mindful of this and not take anything for granted.
I can't think of a charity who's not affected. I can't think of a charity who's not concerned, because the people involved in charities by and large have got good hearts, willing to want to help. And we appeal as a community to the general public to see our cause and to continue to support us.
So how are these charitable initiatives going to sustain their operations and keep donations coming in?
This week alone, I've had about 8 meetings with potential or donors. We go around doing cold calls to meet people as well. Signs are there that people want to help. I think the public's willingness to want to go out and share what they have with others who are less well off is definitely there. It's just that you find that in an event where you normally would raise 50,000, now you find it's 10,000. So you just need to do 5 times more.
We are looking at ways to streamline activities to reduce our operating costs so that every charity dollars that we receive, we hope to be able to make the best of it to organize programs like this to benefit the needy families.
We're treading very cautiously. We're monitoring our expenses too, because we have to cut back wherever possible. But it will not translate into cutting back on care for the animals.
whatever blessings we have, count them, but at the same time, look at those who got nothing to count. Yeah, and just share a little. Yeah, make the world a better place. Yeah.
Yes, indeed, make the world a better place. And tonight we have people here who are dedicated to making the world a better place.
Yes. Yeah, and actually for the SC Pocket Money Fund, they were saying they were hit by a double whammy. I covered their Charity concert last year, December, and they actually made a record, more than $500,000, $500,000. They raised $500,000 last year, so it was actually a record amount raised. So I'm surprised that even for the ST Pocket Money Fund that they're saying that this is a double whammy, that they've been hit by lower contributions.
That's right, because they actually upped the target last few months, and but they fall short of the target. They raised the target because of inflation and other reasons as well, but they fell off the target.
Well, they say that 2009 is going to be a challenging year.
It is.
So we are wondering, for our guests here, is it really so? A challenging year then?
For the Salvation Army, at the end of 2008, we are indeed okay. We actually met our targets, but that doesn't mean that we will continue to meet targets, because I foresee, being in this fundraising for the last 5 years, I foresee that there will be a drop after maybe the Lunar New Year. I think it's a trend that, I may be wrong, but companies tend to retrench after that.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think the pattern that I see in our fundraising efforts is that the drop primarily came from corporate. Okay, the first one, corporate, they has either cut off totally or they will reduce their commitment. And secondly is that I think we used to have a lot of these random donors, people who just donate randomly, and these donors will go away. All right, and then of course there's the third one, which is the people who donate smaller amount. You know, if I'm just donating $5, $10, they will just stop. Yeah, but other than that, I think we are still okay. But we need to wait until after New Year and see what's going to happen. Yeah, I don't know about my friends here.
Okay, so Winnie, you're from the Halogen Foundation. So do you see a challenging year ahead? Do you think donations are going to fall short?
Yeah, like Gregory, Halogen is fortunate that in 2008 we met our targets, our fundraising targets. We don't really know what 2009 is going to have for us. The markets are still reacting to a lot of bad news. So we probably won't get a true picture of how bad it is and how the ripple effects will be. Probably till after Chinese New Year, or maybe the middle of this year. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're saying that there's a time lag, right, between the economic crisis hitting and then until the effects that you feel.
That's right.
Okay. So how about the Red Cross? You are a volunteer, right, of the Red Cross, and I'm sure you have been involved in a few fundraising events. So how has the response been like?
I think 2008 has been a good year for most, corporate and also charitable organization. We had our last fundraising project, that is the Flat Day last week, and indeed we don't see a drop in donors coming in, because looking at the disadvantage of the date given this year compared to last year, because it's during the Chinese New Year season, and we have about 1,000 less team going out. That means 1,000 less volunteers going out. The amount that came in was 140,000 compared to last year 160,000.
Okay, so you're actually seeing more people donating.
So if you are looking at the average collection per teen, it's increased. So for the first project of the year, we are very encouraged, because I believe that flat days are something that we reach out to the street individuals. People are still willing to dig out from their pocket for a good cause, because of Red Cross has established a greater accountability and transparency over these years, and the support of the public is very encouraging. So I don't see a drop. And I hope this will encourage the rest.
Good.
Good news.
Definitely.
Similar to
excellent
December project that we have, reaching out to the 500 needy. We have been doing it for 12 years, And at the end of the project, when the recession already, news already came in, the sponsor actually approached us to say that they want to do more.
Donate. Okay.
They want to do more as an individual and as corporate. So I hope we will be different. Yeah.
But I think for Patricia, you're talking about individual donors when you go out the flag day. I think it's slightly different from what Gregory was talking about, that they were hit more like the institutional donors were not contributing, because the first thing they cost-cutting measure is to cut the philanthropy, the charity work. Is that so? That's why the difference, you can see why there's such a difference in response.
On the street, people are giving more. Just to add to that, we have our regular Christmas caroling project. It runs towards the end of November to December, Christmas Eve. And last year we did, the year before, we did 250,000. But last year, which is a couple of weeks ago, we did 330,000.
Oh.
So there was actually a jump. So people on the streets are giving. So go to the streets.
The streets,
Go to the streets, yeah.
Okay, well, during an economic crisis, right, not only does donations come down, more people will need money. They will need assistance. So when we come back later, let's listen to a story of a woman who has approached the CDC for help. So, see you later.